Welcome to the Hollywood Raw YouTube page, guys. We're happy to have you here. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave us comments, do all the stuff.
What are you waiting for? Let's go. I got a drug addiction to feed.
Welcome to the Hollywood Raw podcast. I'm Dax Holt, joined by my party animal friend, Adam Glyn. How are you, sir?
Party animal. That's what I'm all about. I'm today's Pauly Shore. Ow, buddy. It's I walk into a party. I'm a party animal, dude. I'm the guy who walks in the party and everyone thinks I have Adderall. So they're like, hey, go up to that guy. He'll the one who keep you awake. You know?
And then shocker, because you do. Woo!
But I don't have I have like 5 milligrams. It's not too bad. You know what's so funny about Adderall? Can I tell you? I mean, welcome to the Hollywood Raw podcast, by the way.
Adderall.
We're going to get back into Adderall. However, welcome to the Hollywood Raw podcast. My name is Adam Glyn. Hi, Dax. How are you? That's Dax Holt. Where we like to say we humanize Hollywood. We talk about, it's not even Hollywood secrets. It's more of like telling you what really goes on, what you don't hear on Extra Access Hollywood. It's not all glitz and glamour. It is show business, but we talk about the drugs that keep Hollywood actually going.
The ones that we can't say.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
Can't pronounce.
But Adderall, Ozempic, which if you're a new listener, you don't know what we're talking about. Old listeners, they know we're starting to figure out how to pronounce these words. Adderall is the drug that, it's a weird drug. Obviously, you know, people are familiar with Adderall. It's a prescription drug. It's given to a lot of children, like Ritalin and stuff like that. Dax, did you know Adderall is the secret drug in all like broadcast rooms and like newsrooms around the world?
That's what's keeping people up and keeping people going, or what?
So that's how a lot of these, you know, it's not spoke about. It's like the drug that's not spoken about, but it is a little bit of a it's on their minds. It's like don't ask, don't tell, but a lot apparently, allegedly, and I don't know. I know this from talking to different news broadcasters in very huge rooms, that a lot of the biggest broadcasters that you know take Adderall. And it's the way they're able to A, stay awake and alert that early in the morning, B, get to kind of know their scripts and just be like on top of stuff. I mean, obviously you could say, oh no, we just drink a lot of coffee, but you know, there's only so much caffeine you can have. You need a little bit extra tea. So it's like the secret drug that, like, when it comes to human resources, they know it's there, but they don't bring it up too much. And because it kind of keeps it keeps these people good. It keeps them on their toes. And if you take an Adderall, you kind of know what I'm talking about. It's pretty wild. It's one of those things. It's like
Ozempic is keeping them skinny, and Adderall is keeping them on their shit.
Adderall actually keeps you skinny too, because you lose your appetite. So you can talk to Dave Portnoy about that one. It's the reason why he's gotten pretty skinny. But Adderall is what keeps these people to memorize their scripts and also be so on top of their stuff.
I feel like I'm working with a disadvantage without popping some of this stuff.
You know what's
I gotta remember my shit the old-fashioned way, just with my lazy-ass brain.
So I have actually taken Adderall before. I don't take it, believe it or not. I'm actually on natural caffeine. I don't even drink coffee, really. It's I'll have it like once in a blue moon. But I've taken Adderall before, and if you've never taken it, probably don't take it. This is not like a PSA for it. Like, I'm not. This is gonna sound like such a testimonial. Yeah. This is not a testimony for Adderall, but I was out with some friends one weekend. We were away, and my friends were partying. They were like drinking nonstop, and they were like literally drinking like animals. And then they're able to like not sleep, wake up the next day and just drink. I'm like, this is crazy. Like day 2 in, I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're like, oh, we're on Adderall. And I was finally like, you know what? Let me try it. And they gave me some milligram. I don't know what it was. And I took it. And next thing you know, we're in the bar. I was like the guy in the bar. Like, I was talking to everyone, the bartender. Everyone was like, who is this guy? I was so charismatic. Like, I was interested in people's conversations. I was talkative. I was nice. I was charming. And I was like, I could see how people could get hooked on it.
But that was also your view of the situation. Everyone else was like, this drunk mofo over here looking like a fool.
Yeah.
What is he on?
It's hard to get drunk on Adderall. It kind of, I mean, back to what are we talking about? But if you've taken Adderall, I know, but it's like the drug in parties and stuff like that. And it actually allows you not to get drunk in a way. So you could drink pretty well, but you feel alert and well. But
don't take it, is the moral of his story.
Yeah, if you want to
Don't do
try
it,
it,
people.
dabble, but that's all right. Don't
No,
try it. No,
don't
don't
do
try
it.
it.
Don't
Don't
let your
try it.
children do it. Oh man.
What a
All
way to
right.
get into the
Well,
podcast today,
no
guys.
kidding. The whole point of this podcast today was supposed to be like talking about epic parties and stuff because obviously Vanity Fair party was this past weekend after the Oscars. It is kind of the party to go to. Everyone covets this party, but apparently this year Adam's got some details that we need to talk about why it wasn't the greatest party ever. And then we're going to get into some of the parties that we've been to because we started talking about like I've got some fun stories that of parties that I've been to that I'm just kind of like walking around the room like, how the hell did I get in here? And then I know Adam has some as well. So we'll get into those. But let me read a couple reviews real fast before we kind of jump into the podcast. Per usual, give a little shout out to some people that took some time to go to Apple, scroll down to our page, and leave us a review. All right. This one comes from Borgmom. And it says, Miss Wanda, Redondo Beach, California, 5 stars. I've always had an interest in pop culture. Your podcast is packed with content I like. You also have easy replies with each other. It's fun to listen. I even got my husband listening. Keep up the good work and keep your fans informed. I'm in the Facebook group too, and you are right. It is fun to read and ask questions. Thanks, says Miss Wanda. Love it. Love it, love it.
Thank you, Miss
And thank you
Wanda
for
Redondo
joining
Beach.
our Facebook group, Off the Record. It was off the chain this week. I was having fun chatting with everyone, leaving
Yeah.
lots of comments of Oscar stuff. It was good. All right, one more. This one comes from LMSMK25. A new fan is the title and 5 stars. This isn't my normal genre for podcasts because I really don't follow Hollywood gossip, but I need some lighthearted listening sometimes where I don't have to think too hard and also can stay up to date. So I'm not the only one who doesn't know what's happening. The podcast is really fun to listen to and gives me all the current social news. Very enjoyable. Well, that is what we strive for. We don't want you to
Yes.
think too hard. We just want to give it to you straight.
Yeah, LMSMK25. Thank you so much, guys. Keep the reviews coming. It's the best thing to do to support us. We are not going to really get into the Oscars too much because it's a few days after, and you guys probably did not see all these movies just like us.
Dude, can I tell you, I didn't watch everything everywhere all at once. So 90% of the show I was like, what the hell is happening? Like when their music performance came on and the dude with the like dildo fingers was out there singing, I'm like, what? I don't understand this movie. I don't know why it's winning every award. Like I can't relate to like 90% of this telecast right now.
yeah,
Did you see the movie?
no, I didn't see I didn't even see Top Gun, which is the movie that you'd expect us to probably see as bros. But I did not see any of these movies. Obviously I was familiar with the Brendan Fraser movie. You heard a
Did
lot about that for the
you
last
saw
year.
Whale?
I did not see Whale. The only movie I saw was Elvis.
Okay.
And I felt like obviously the guy was what's his name? The guy
Austin Butler?
Austin Butler. He's been he's been lobbying, I guess, in any way possible and like on campaign to get the Academy Award for the past year for this movie. I think we're like sick of it. Like, all right, we're like, we need an Austin Butler break for the past year because he's been campaigning so hard. And granted, he was great, but it was just getting gross to a certain point. But I did not see any of these movies, and I used to look forward to the Oscars. I still do because I find them very I find it very inspirational in a way, to see like a lot of these people like their dream. Like it's cool to see, even though I didn't see any of these movies. I used to love the films, but this past year I didn't see any of the films. There's just no excitement for me. The only big takeaway, obviously, from the Oscars, which I can't stop watching clips was how do you pronounce his name? The kid from Goonies. I always say him
No
Data from
idea.
Goonies.
I
Le
have no
Huai
clue.
Quan, whatever. Again, I can't say Ozempic, so I'm not gonna be able to say this guy's name, but I was so excited to see him up there, and it seemed I just know his backstory, and I'm such a fan of Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, and Goonies. Those are 2 huge movies of my childhood, and to know his little bit struggle in the industry and the business, but for him to come back and win an award like that, and he just was so excited and grateful, and it was just so nice to see, with him and Harrison Ford, because he was such a great actor and he did struggle in the industry for a long time, and which is not
Mhm.
easy, and he never gave up, and it was just so nice to see. I know you posted something about it in the Off the Record Facebook group, but that was the only part that really it really got to me.
Yeah, that was cool. I that reunion, you just seeing how excited he was on stage to get the award from Harrison Ford, like, that was so freaking cool.
It wasn't different, like, excitement from, like, remember when the guy from Life is Beautiful, which was a great movie, when he won the award? Like,
Was
it
he
was
the
a
one that
different.
kissed Halle Berry or whatever?
Might have been, yes, yeah, him. And we never heard from that guy again. I don't know. Is he still around? You know, that was a great movie, and he was great in it, but it was like, this was just, I don't know, for somebody, this guy, La Huy Quan, I keep forgetting, I'll just call him Data from Goonies, but, like, he was a big part of my childhood, and I loved him, and I remember him doing an interview, it was like, I thought everyone forgot about me. I was like, "Dude, I never forgot about you. Like, I would love to meet you." Like, I get more excited if you told me, like, he was on one side of the street and, I don't know, Austin Butler, whatever his name is on the other side of the street. I'd go to him, and this is before the academies, because I was just such a fan of this guy. Like, he
That's
was a
a
big part of.
lie. That is a lie,
No,
Adam.
I'm
You would
telling you, I would.
Austin would make you money right now. Well, given now he's the Oscar winner, so going to that side would be smart. But 2 months ago, 4 months ago, 2 years ago, Austin would have been the one that gets you the money on that
Yeah,
video.
but you know what? I think more people would be. We've heard his story. How many interviews have we seen with Austin Butler this past year of him doing the same accent? He's just so cool. He's like a new James Dean. Or this guy was just. There's more interesting stuff to hear about. Like,
Yeah.
we haven't heard him talk, and I think for me, for my listeners or my viewers on YouTube of my content, they would actually love to hear him more. But here's the thing that a lot of people didn't see is, I'm on the East Coast, you're on the West Coast. So it goes on at 8 o'clock my time, 5 p.m. your time is when the Academy Awards starts. After the award show, there's a lot of after parties. There's Guy Oseary, who's a big Madonna's manager. He throws like an epic, very exclusive after party. One of the other after parties is the Vanity Fair after party, and
Mhm.
that's where you're seeing a lot of red carpet photos. You're seeing tons of celebrities on that. It's a very, or should I say, used to be in a very exclusive party.
Yeah,
Now,
it's like so I can tell you who went this year just in case
sure.
you didn't actually look at photos, but, Megan Thee Stallion was there. We had, what's her name from, Ozark?
Oh man,
Julia
yeah, that's
Gardner
a
was
cool name,
there, Russell Wilson, and, why can't I think of
Sierra.
anyone's name? And Sierra. I'm, like, trying to rack my brain thinking of everyone that I saw there. Andrew Garfield went. Sarah Paulson was there. John Legend and Chrissy Teigen went. Whatever.
Emily
It's literally
Ratajkowski, everyone.
yeah. It's the
Huge
party to
names.
go to. Always the party to go to.
Huge names to go. Very big photo op. They do it very well. I mean, I've never been, but it's a very, very big party. Now, I did talk to, believe it or not, I think Dax and I get a lot of stories from celebrities themselves, and they help us out with stories. I'm like, hey, listen, you got any deets about this story? About like events or something that you notice stuff going on. So from the two celebrities I spoke to, and actually these are two celebrities that are actually fans of the podcast, and
Yeah, that's right.
um, yes, we do have some fans of the podcast that are in the
4 of
game in
them, but
showbiz.
they're good.
Yeah, shout out to you, Brad Pitt. Anyway, so I talked to celebrities the next morning. I'm like, hey man, anything you noticed about the party or anything like that? This is kind of cool. This is kind of interesting. It's kind of wild. So they're like, yeah, the party was like kind of odd. And I go, what do you mean? They said, well, you noticed when you went to the party that there was a lot of people not in the industry there. And I go, what do you mean? They're like, you just felt a weird type of energy. Like there's a lot of people that weren't in the industry that were at this party. And this party is like, usually these are a party you go to every year. You kind of look forward to it. It's very exciting. You get dressed up, you get dolled up to go to this party and see and connect with a lot of people. But you felt like a lot of people in the room weren't supposed to be there. They weren't even
Mhm.
in the industry. And I go, well, tell me more. And they said, well, wherever you went around the party, there's people asking you for selfies, random people asking you for selfies.
That's weird. This is a party where all it is A-list stars. So, like, they don't take a lot of selfies because no one wants to be bothered with selfies.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Yeah.
so, like, that does sound really weird.
So I looked into this more, and I asked the other person, and they said the same thing. They're like, you know what? You're right. Like, there was a lot of people asking me for photos, and it was like wherever you went, people asking you for photos and selfies, and you can't really say no because it's awkward, and it's like you're just
Mhm.
like you can't say no and just keep walking. You're at a party, and you also don't want to seem like it's just a very uncomfortable type thing, and especially when you're trying to like celebrities need to network with each other a little bit. They want to see a celebrity, talk to them, and then someone says, excuse me, can I get a photo with you? Like, it kind of throws off the vibe or the connection, or they're trying to make moves there. So there was a lot of that going on. A lot of people just like, so afterwards I called a friend of mine, and a friend of mine is a high-end ticket broker and has a very, very wealthy clientele. Now, the wealthy, they don't want to just go to a Drake concert. I've known this from speaking to him. He's a close friend of mine. Wealthy people don't want to just go to a Drake concert. They want to see Drake during sound check and meet him. They don't want to just go see, they want to go to Fallon, but they want to go for the episode like, oh, we want to go when Michelle Obama's on. They want to go for a taping of SNL when Miley Cyrus is the host. They want to go see Paul McCartney during sound check. Like, they have very extreme requests. They want to go to the Super Bowl, but they want to have field passes for the game before the game. They want that photo op there. Money's not an option to them. He said to me that he sold 2 tickets to the Academy Awards for $50,000.
Wait, to the Academy Awards or to the Vanity Fair party?
Well, this was to the Academy Awards. Okay. And actually, I know this because I've been asked before in the past to go, where this was a few years ago. Someone offered me, or I would have got a cut of it, 2 tickets to the Academy Awards. The seats could be anywhere, and they were $30,000 each for the tickets. And I couldn't find anyone. They're like, listen, can you get someone in? They'll pay $30,000 each for 2 tickets. The seats could be anywhere. I was like, fuck, $30,000. So I tried to see what I could do and I don't know where the money goes. I tried to ask around if I had any hookups to get 2 people into the Academy Awards. I wasn't able to make it work. But then I asked him about the Academy Awards. I'm sorry, about the Vanity Fair party. And he had 2 people that paid $40,000 total for the 2 people. So they paid $40,000, $20,000 each to just go into the party. And he was like, yeah, it's very like, they don't advertise because they don't want it to, they don't want that they don't want that out there. They don't want it to get out there.
It takes away the exclusiveness of the party.
Exactly.
The only way to get in is normally being in the industry or being being invited.
Yeah.
It's like going to the Met Gala. If you could just buy a bunch of tickets as a regular person, then like, what makes it so exciting? Nothing.
Exactly. So like, yeah, 2 people paid $40,000 just to go to the party. Now, here's the question that I don't know the answer to. Well, who does that $40,000 go to? Does it go to Vanity Fair? Does it go to some shady publicists or producers behind the back?
Who's selling them? Like, if Vanity Fair is straight up selling them, that's one thing. But if it's like a side deal of someone selling off their tickets, I guess that's another.
Yeah, that's the part I don't know. And I think it's kind of crazy. Like, it's still a thing where you need to know someone, but if you know the right people, money speaks. So it's like, hey, listen, they're willing to pay, this amount of money to kind of go to the award. So would you pay Dax $40,000 to go to the Vanity Fair party? Oh, I'm sorry, $20,000 for you. If you had the money.
Do you think if I had the money, that's a different story. I thought you meant like in my current situation.
Yeah. Well, you do drive a Tesla. Would you pay $250 to go to the Vanity Fair party?
$250?
Yeah.
I'd pay $250 to go to the party.
You snake. I would go there, but I would pay. I don't think it would be hard for me to even stomach paying $500. I'd pay $500. I don't think I'd pay $1,000 to go to the Vanity Fair party because I can make the money back just from cell phone videos. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you'd come out of there with a lot of stories and content. And I mean, this kind of goes into what we were talking about is we've been to a lot of fun stories, but to be able to say you got to go to a Vanity Fair after Oscar party, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. You get to wear the tux, and maybe you could, if you go to these red carpets, there's always like after the red carpet's sort of done, there's always like, the regular folks kind of jump on, they take that photo like, on the red carpet. But I'm like, you were on it when they're kind of closing it off. Like, you're on it when they're turning the lights off. You're like, hey, can I get a photo real quick? I mean, I've done that too. And I take stupid photos of me like laying down on the red carpet. Like, that's how I've been posing. But you take when the photographers sort of leave. But I would pay a
would you be the guy who's asking for selfies?
I would do it if I saw them like stand there and just like being good to other people, or if I was like a huge fan. But I would also go there and talk to them first and then potentially ask for the photo. Because if I'm asking for the photo, it's someone I'm usually a fan of. And for me personally, I don't know about you, and I've met a lot of celebrities. I love to tell people who I'm a real fan of, that I'm a real fan of them and tell them why and how much they meant to me.
Like, yeah, you and the other 16 people that said the same damn thing to me tonight.
No, dude. So I've noticed with a lot of these people just walk up to them and say, "Hey, can I get a photo with you?" And it's just like, why? Is it just for Instagram? But I love to go to people and tell them how much I'm a fan of them and like how much I appreciate their work. Like for example, if I saw the Data from Goonies, K Huai
Mhm.
Kwan, like I would love to talk to him first before I ask him for the photo because I want to let him know how much I appreciate his work in the past and how much I thought it was so cool, how much it inspired me a little bit to see him at the Academy Awards. And I want him to feel like how much like I was excited for him. I'm sure everyone's saying that to him, but like it didn't mean a lot to me to see him there. But I would
So
ask for a few photos. It depends. I would go nuts probably.
I would ask for photo, like seeing that like Megan Fox was there, Gigi Hadid. I think did Bieber go this year? I don't know. I think I saw
Bieber went
Haley
actually,
there.
and apparently he was wearing like a blanket. Like people were kind of turned off. It's funny you said Bieber. The celebrity I talked to, I was like, "So who'd you see there?" And they mentioned some of the people they saw, and they're like, they said, "I did see Bieber in his blanket," and Bieber came like wearing some like weird outfit. We're like, it was a little too forced. It wasn't like, come on, dude. Like everyone else is wearing tuxes and kind of normal. You kind of do the same. I'll tell you what though, changes. I don't want to come back to the parties and stuff, but did you see the one thing during the Oscars of that girl? I don't know the
With the
girl's
big
name, the
white
actress.
dress.
How annoying. I would be so
I
upset for the
I
people
would be
sitting
so
behind that.
pissed.
And
I
someone
would be
should have
so
called her
pissed.
out on that. Like that was not cool. That's not nice. Like it's like one thing you want over the red carpet, but eventually you have to take that off. And maybe she
Like
didn't even
just
realize how
pull
stupid that was.
no, she knew. But like you just pull it down or something cuz I would be so annoyed sitting right behind her. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like we're at the Oscars right now and all I see is a giant white dress in front of me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd be
not
pissed.
cool. It was
So back
basically she had an umbrella open.
Yeah. So back to the Vanity Fair party. I was told it was fine. It was chill. It was like fun for a little bit, but most people weren't there long. They were there
I was
for, an
most
hour and
people
a half,
literally
90
go
minutes.
most people go for the red carpet
Yeah.
because that red carpet is so widely covered and everyone knows that that is where you go, you rock your fashion, you're going to be on every website the next day. So like it's more of a red carpet thing. Like I've seen people literally walk the red carpet, get back in their car and leave.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've seen that for a lot of awards. Even like movie premieres. You think it's funny how many movie premieres you see a celebrity walk the red carpet, they do the announcement, like they introduce the movie, and then they go to dinner when the movie's playing, and then they just go to the after party. It's actually
Yep.
majority of the time you see celebrities do that. Like and people don't know that. The celebrity comes in, does the red carpet, they'll introduce the movie for the premiere, and then they leave and go to dinner, and then they just go to the after party for a little bit. But for this party, most people they're only there for a little bit, and then, obviously the cool crowd goes to the other party, which is Guy Siri, where there's no media, there's no press. It's more of like, this is legit. And he's known, he's made this party like infamous in a
Yeah, there
way.
was one year when I had covered the Vanity Fair party. Afterwards, there was a massive party up in the Hollywood Hills.
Is that
Like
Guy
a few
Siri's party or?
I don't think it was Guile series. This was years ago. But they had it like the old Merv Griffith house that kind of overlooks Sunset Boulevard. It's this really like famous house.
Yeah.
And everyone was going up there. No one really knew about it. So I don't remember if we got tipped off or what, but went up there and it was like you could see everyone walking, like Jennifer Aniston, the Olsen twins, um, freaking everyone was walking into this party. I was not. I was outside. But it was like the biggest party and there was no red carpet, there was no nothing. It was just to go hang out and be around other like super big celebs.
Yeah. Two last things about the Academy Awards, by the way. Everyone's talking about obviously the Hugh Grant situation. I just don't like when they bring celebrities to kind of do red carpets. Like, I don't think Ashley, what's the girl's name, the actress,
Ashley Graham.
Ashley Graham. I don't think Ashley Graham should have been doing it. I mean, that's me personally, and I don't think Vanessa Hudgens. It's just not fun for me. I like to see when like a real person because they think
Are you
anybody can
just
do it.
salty you didn't get an invite?
No, because I'm never gonna be able. I'll be the guy. Again, if they put me on the red carpet, I'll be at the end wearing fucking sweatpants and backwards hat. But I just don't. Hugh Grant was a dick, but I don't want to see Ashley Graham doing it. I don't want to see Vanessa
I
Hudgens
don't think
doing
she
it.
did a
Actually,
bad job. I mean, people were giving her a hard time. I don't think she did a bad job. People don't realize how hard it is to do a red carpet. Um, but he was being a dick. He was
yeah,
rude.
He
Like,
was
why stop if you're just going to trash their questions, not answer stuff? Like, just don't stop. Keep going. Say you're not in the mood today, but like,
yeah.
don't stop and then make the interviewer feel awkward and dodge questions and like make their questions sound dumb. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah, but I'm used to that. Listen, if I got a doctor, everyone thinks my questions are dumb. I'm like, listen, my question was not dumb. Did they serve food on set? That's a good question. What did they serve? I'm fucking poor. Give me
What was the best party you've been to, though? Okay, we got to get into this because this was not supposed to be an Oscar episode. We were supposed
I
to talk
know, I
about
know.
dope parties we've been to. So, like, what is the coolest party you've
The
been to?
best party I went into, and I kind of snuck my way in, but then it was dope. And then they realized I snuck in, but like they're like he could hang. Um, there's a few. All right, there's a few. The coolest party I've been to, obviously, was probably Fanatics, which is the big brand owned by Michael Rubin. Their
Mhm.
Super Bowl party in Miami, and the coolest part about the cool thing about that party was it was on the beach, but it was like very private, and it wasn't too big, but it was tight. The food was incredible. The food was incredible, and it was in the end. But then they had Migos and Post Malone perform, but it wasn't like sectioned off, so everyone had to hang together. And I mean, everyone's there from Jay-Z to Aaron Judge to, Emily Ratajkowski to, I mean, there's so many people there and they're all over. Right behind me was like Mark Cuban and, your boy. And it was like hanging out with Mark Cuban. Like we were like dancing to Post Malone together. And the cool part about this party was this was right after Kobe Bryant passed away. I mean, which is like, oh, that's cool. No, that's not. But the cool part was they gave everyone Kobe Bryant jerseys. So it
Mm,
was like Halloween where everyone wore Kobe Bryant jerseys and
yeah.
we all like bonded together. And it was just like a very cool crowd. It wasn't corporate. It was just like a good vibe. And then eventually the party got bigger and it's not as good anymore. And in fact, they didn't even let me in this past year. Like they made it a point you cannot come into this party, which was so fucked up. But so I would say that was the coolest party. The other cool, I mean, the Super Bowl parties are always fun. Like this past
Mhm.
year, I went to a party where they gave me a quarter ounce of weed. Like they like just gave you everyone weed. It was crazy to walk out of a party with so much weed. I was like, this is insane. Like I have like
Yeah.
$200 worth of weed. Um, but here's a wild story. Before I really got into the business, I went to this. This is a wild stacks. You ready for this? Hopefully our audience
I'm
is ready
ready.
for this.
Buckling up.
All right. So, oh my God, I can't believe I'm telling this. I went before I really got involved in the business. This was probably about 15 years ago. I got asked to help out by a PR company for this NFL event. It was a Michael Strahan. This is before Michael Strahan became the Michael Strahan. He had this charity event, and what it was they had all the football players staying at Tao Uptown in New York City.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, they stayed at the Four Seasons, and then they had an event at Tao Restaurant, and Bon Jovi was performing in the restaurant. And it wasn't a big party at all. Like crazy, they had Bon Jovi perform at Tao in the restaurant. So the publicists were female publicists. They didn't know who any of these football players was. So what I was supposed to do is bring the football players and like kind of hand deliver them like, hey, I'm going to walk them from the hotel to the restaurant because I could recognize who they were. Now there was this is like my first time meeting a lot of these football players and I'm a huge fan. And one of these football players, like I was a huge fan. I had his jersey and I walked the football player from the hotel to the restaurant. Then afterwards, I walked him from the restaurant back to the hotel. And I'm in the elevator. This is a true story, Dax. Ready for this? I'm in the elevator with this guy who I'm a huge fan of, and he's with a girl. And he is like wasted and he's getting frisky with the girl, like getting really
Okay.
touchy feely with the girl. They're making out. I'm in the elevator, bringing them to the after party in the suite of the Four Seasons, where like this is like the after party in a suite, the Four Seasons. We're in the elevator and he's got his hand up the girl's skirt and he's using his hand on her.
Mhm.
Pretty wild to see your favorite football player.
Jeez.
I mean, I don't want to get too gross, but being
Well,
graphic, but you
we
understand
got
what
it.
he's
You don't
doing.
have to explain it anymore. We're on the
But I'm
same
like,
page.
holy shit, I have this guy's jersey at home and he's using his hand on a girl in an elevator. It's just the three of us in the elevator. I'm like, oh my God, this is so unique. And we got up to the suite, unique of all words to describe.
Unique.
And we went up to the after party and it was like Bon Jovi, a bunch of NFL players and like women. And I just like was like a fly on the wall, like, I'm young I'm in my 20s. I'm like, my friends, I am not supposed to be here, but I'm not gonna bring. I'm just like a fly on the wall, just like taking the free drinks, eating the free food, like, and just making sure no one questions why I'm here. But yeah, it was pretty wild. That might have been the most weirdest, craziest after party or that I've been to. What
Nice.
about you? What you've been to some cool parties?
I've been to some fun parties. I mean, I've been to a couple like celeb weddings, which were fun. Like I was at Ice T and Coco's wedding. I was at Danielle Fishel's wedding. Um,
Dude, wait,
but
Danielle
I
Fishel, that's Topanga from
yes,
Boy Meets
Topanga,
World.
Boy Meets World,
That's
and
pretty
like
cool.
yep. And then that one was fun. That was and it was beautiful. Like they did such a good job on that wedding, and so that one was really cool. Nothing like amazing moments to tell you like behind the scenes. It was just a really pretty wedding. Both of them.
Well,
I mean,
before
Icy
you
and
get into these
Coco's
weddings,
was
Dax, hold on. Was there a lot of celebrities at Danielle Fishel's wedding?
there was a bunch of cast from Boy Meets World that was
Okay.
there. What's his name? What's the main
Uh,
guy?
Ben Savage.
Ben
Fred Savage.
Savage was
Yeah,
there.
Ben Savage.
Fred
Fred
is that
Savage is from Wonder Years. Ben Savage is from Boy Meets World.
yes, Ben Savage was there. And then like, yeah, you just see a bunch of the cast members from Boy Meets World. So that one was cool. But Ice-T and Coco's wedding, that one was fun. I think I've talked about that one on once or twice on here and just how it was like Flava Flav and Snoop and then Dax Holt.
So when you're at a wedding like that, can you ask for selfies there?
I mean, I got a photo with Coco, my
Okay.
wife and I did.
But if you went up to
I
Snoop, can you get a photo with Snoop or is it
You
weird?
know, it didn't feel right. Like it felt like it just didn't feel like the moment to go and like start asking for selfies, even though it probably would have been totally cool, but I like didn't want to be that guy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like everyone's having fun, they're dancing, they're on the dance floor, they're like we're doing toast for iced tea and cocoa. But then for me to be like, hey Snoop, can I get a photo? I just felt like awkward.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Just because no one was doing that there. But it was at the what is that? The W in Hollywood. You
Wait,
know where that's
Ice-T
at?
and Coco got yeah, the W in Hollywood. So that's like right near Rodeo Drive, right? Is that one?
It's right on like Hollywood Boulevard, and it's like right on
Oh, yeah,
Hollywood
yeah, yeah.
Boulevard, kind of over by the freeway by the 101, kind of like near the Netflix building and
Yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Know
So down
exactly where
there,
it is.
so but it's like totally it's not like crazy. You just go upstairs and there's a ballroom and so but they were definitely guarding the doors, making sure no one was coming in that wasn't supposed to be there. They did have camera crews because you remember they were filming their reality show at that time.
Yeah. So when you
So
go to a
they
wedding like that, do they check is there like a security thing or what do they
yeah,
do
yeah,
with
no,
something like
they
that?
got to they make sure that you are supposed to be there, especially because you've got a lot of like big rappers coming in and out and so they definitely checked you down, made sure you were on the list, showed ID, the whole thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been to a celebrity wedding. Yeah, that's pretty cool though. Did they have like
So
the photo booth or is that before the photo booths were in our weddings?
I think it was before photo booths. I don't remember that being there. I remember the food was good. They had a bunch of like hors d'oeuvres going around. It wasn't like a sit down type situation. It was more like just party situation
Yeah.
or like
Got a
go,
good
you know,
question for you though.
yeah.
You bring a gift.
Yeah, yeah. I brought a gift. I don't remember what the hell I brought,
Do you
but
know
I did.
was it money or was it like a gift?
Oh God, I almost want to ask my wife what the hell we brought. We definitely took something because you're like, how do I? You know what I think it was? And I'm trying to remember. I almost want to think it was like a donation to something of it. Like I think they asked and like in lieu of gifts, bring a donation for some charity or something. So I think that's what we did because I remember we rolled in with an envelope, but I don't remember what was in the envelope. And I don't think we got them, like, a gift card to Cracker Barrel, so I
Yeah.
think it was
Yeah.
probably something to, like, donate to a charity or something. But that wedding was just really fun, it stands out in my mind, but, like, in regards to, like, party, when I think about fun times, I went to the VH1, like, Rock Honors Show. Do you remember when they used to have those?
Yeah.
So back in, like, 2006, I think it was, Bam Margera was hosting the show, but they gave us all access. So we were hanging out backstage. There
Who's
was, like, a
we? So how'd you
full
get in?
it's through TMZ.
Okay. Which you were
We were
sort of not allowed to go, or were you allowed to go then?
no, we were totally allowed to go. Like,
Okay.
VH1 was super chill with having us there. They gave us basically all access to the whole place. So it wasn't like just red carpet. They gave us passes to their like backstage green room where the real party was happening. So like obviously there's a massive show with a huge audience going on. They had ZZ Top there, Heart, Genesis, Ozzy Osbourne. They had all these like bands performing, but then backstage was just party room. And so back there, I saw like Cameron Diaz walking around. That was when she was hooking up with Chris Angel. Do you
Oh
remember?
man,
And it
that's fun.
was
Yeah, yeah.
literally it was that show and backstage, and there were photos of them hanging out in that room, like 2 feet away from me, that went like wild and got everyone talking about them being a couple. Robin Williams was there, so I got to see Robin Williams up close and personal.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Taylor Hawkins was there, Billy Bob Thornton, Jada Pinkett Smith was there. I mean, it was like a crazy part, and everyone was just like with just standing around, drinking, having fun, and I didn't have. I mean, it was just that was one of my first moments of really being like in the like Hollywood scene, and so I remember like Natasha Henstridge, and I met her and Jillian Barbary. That was the first time I met Jillian Barbary, who we've had on the podcast
Mhm.
before, the comedian Ant. So like I was just hanging out with all these people and drinking and having fun, but to see like an icon like Robin Williams 10 feet away from me was pretty fucking dope. And he was making everyone laugh and just have a good time. So that was really fun. Just stands out in my memory as like a cool party. Even though it was more of a show and it was just like a backstage green room, it was a party in there.
So, with all the cool parties, are some of these parties are they bad? Like, have you been to like some bad parties? Like, dude, I'm just gonna go home, or are they all just kind of cool, or they're just an experience?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like a big I didn't go out that much. So I didn't go to a lot of bad parties. I'm sure I've been to bad parties and they're just not memorable. That's why I don't remember them.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, the other like event that I went to that was really fun was did I ever tell you I got to see DJ M and Travis Barker like literally in a room with 20 people?
No, what do you mean? They're playing like they're
Yeah. And it was like upstairs at like Pin's bowling alley in and I think it was or it was right next door. It was just this like tiny room. They were performing together. Dude, there was literally 20 people in there. And I don't know how the hell I got in there. And I was I was the first person up to the stage, watching these two guys perform. And it was obviously before the plane crash stuff and everything, but it was when they were traveling around. And I could reach out and literally touch Travis Barker on the drums.
Travis Barker, by the way, super nice guy. I've met him a few times. Very nice guy. And DJ AM, obviously he's no longer with us, but I'm not like a DJ guy. Maybe it was just
Mhm.
at that stage of my life, like I was going out to clubs more, and I did see DJ AM do his thing, and he was great. He was really good,
He was
especially with
really
some of
good.
the newer DJs. It was he made a really fun party because it wasn't like these like techno songs. Like he would play songs you like, but mix the beats with like other random beats. So it was always different. It was just really fun. I know there's guys who are pretty much doing the same thing that he did, but like DJ AM, he just made a good party. Like he just made it fun and exciting. And yeah, I remember seeing him in Atlantic City. He was really cool. What about sorry, when you go to these parties, have you gotten any cool free swag? I mean, obviously I said mine, I got a lot of free drugs,
I
but
was
was there
just
any
thinking
like
the same
swag or
thing.
anything?
So I wanted the daytime Emmy after parties. I got into the CBS after party because my buddy and your buddy Brian McDaniels, he got
He got
me
you
in.
in?
Yeah,
Did he
it
get
was
everyone in or did he just get you in?
just a couple of us. So we were at the Emmys that year because we were nominated. TMZ was nominated for a
Sure.
daytime Emmy. So yes, I would like to always refer to me as Emmy nominated Dax Holt or Emmy losing Dax Holt, one of the
Yeah.
two, please. Um, but we went to the CBS party and it was, Sharon Osbourne and Juliana Rancic, just like whatever people in there. But when we left, they gave us a sick gift bag. Well, my wife was really excited because she had like a purse in there. It had like
Wow.
all these like lotions and gift cards and just I don't know, probably $1,000 worth of just free swag to take home, like jewelry and all kinds of stuff. It was
Wow.
awesome.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty insane.
So that one was a fun one. But you know what? Honestly, one of the best gifting things that we ever got was I got her onto the Ellen Mother's Day show.
So
So when my
that's when they give out a ton of free stuff, right?
Yes, so my wife
Oh
was
my
pregnant
god, that's so
with our
cool.
daughter, and I was able to get her on that show because TMZ and Ellen were
Sure.
sister shows, so I knew a bunch of people over there, got her in, and we walked away with, like, great like, a whole like, a crib, um,
What? You got a
uh,
crib?
we got a crib, we got all the
What?
sheets for the crib, we got
Oh my
a,
god.
sleep number bed, we
You
got
got a sleep number bed?
got
Holy
sleep number bed.
shit.
We got a Mama-Roo. Do you remember what one of those are? Those
Yeah.
things that, like,
Dude, are you
bounce your
this
baby?
is off one episode?
Off one episode, we
Oh,
got a
oh my
do you remember
god.
there was a stroller at one point that was a weird, like, electronic stroller, which would, like you'd push the button and it would, like, stand up or fold
Yes.
down. We got one of those. By the way, we
Oh my
returned it
I'm
to
like
Bed Bath&
orgasming over here. I'm like, "Oh, oh, that is insane."
And by the way, with that, like, stroller thing, it was so dumb heavy that, like, we my wife was like, "I can't lift this in and out of the car." Like, there's no way that
Yeah.
this is a functioning item that we were like, "Well, let's just try to see if Bed Bath& and Beyond will take it back." We fucking returned it and got $1,000.
Oh my god. Holy shit.
It was amazing. Yeah, and
I'm so
we
mad
got
I didn't take advantage of that day.
we
I didn't
got
even know about that.
I think
Wow.
we got a Roomba. And we also got another one that was like I think it was called a scuba, which would mop the floors.
Oh my god. This whole
Yeah.
episode is me. Oh my this is 2 minutes of me just oh my that's incredible.
It was the
So
greatest
wait,
thing
you walked
ever.
when you went to that when your wife did, when she went to episode, did she just like, "Hey, bring the car, we gotta dump a bunch of stuff in," do they ship it to your house? Like, how does it work?
She brought a ton of stuff home, and then it was like like the sleep number you got to go. They give you like a gift card to go to the store and like pick it out and everything. So you and
Man.
yeah,
Are you still using that sleep number?
we still have it. Yeah.
You say it so humble, like, "Yes, we still have it." We did man, that is so
We did
cool.
not return that one.
That is so cool,
Yeah,
man. I was wow, that's crazy.
it was
That's
the
awesome.
best, like, that was, like, the one thing, like, it was worth all of it for that. It was so
You
dope.
you know, I know, like, a lot of our audience, like, you're on social media and you see, like, the celebrity like, the people at home or influencers open the box, like, "Oh, look what this brand sent me," and they open the box and they get a bunch of free shit. I always start to follow the brand because maybe they see I have a blue check mark and they're gonna send me some stuff, which they never do.
Never
Very,
do.
very rarely do I get, like, some companies send me free stuff. But do you know what I do, Dex?
Hmm.
I go after when everyone goes after the cool brands to get free stuff, I go after the random brands. Like, I go after, like, Olive Garden, I go after Cracker Barrel, I go after, like, random fast food restaurants,
No,
and I
you gotta
say,
go after smaller brands than that. Those are too big of brands.
"Well, maybe I just thought who's reaching out to Olive Garden and saying, 'I wanna be an influencer for you guys?'"
They're dude, for their bread rolls, people will do anything.
But actually, Olive Garden did hook they gave me one $25 gift certificate for one post, which was, like, not worth it, but it was like, I was just like, "No, I'm going after all the random brands trying to get free shit out of them."
You
Like, I
gotta
like
go after the up and coming brands that are small, that are looking for press. Don't go for a big brand.
oh, it's so mad. I get it's man. I'm so hearing you talk about that.
Who knew a
Ah,
Mama-Roo could get you so jealous?
Dax, you've met a lot of celebrities, over the years. I think
Mhm.
you've been in the obviously in the industry for way more than a
I
decade.
haven't
It's gonna
met
become a
half as many as you have. What are you talking about?
yes, that is true. But yeah, I've met a lot more. But like, who is someone you'd still love to meet?
Dude, well, I mean, I've wanted to meet Oprah, your bestie over there. I've never met Oprah, and she is someone that I've always wanted to meet. I've always wanted to just pick her brain for 20 minutes just because I find her so fascinating and successful that she has been on my list of people I'd love to interview or chat with for a really long time. Pink, is always my favorite. I've had very small, quick interactions with her, and it would be nice to have like a 30-minute sit down interview with her, I think would be really cool, because everything has been like, I had like 3 minutes with her at a red carpet. I saw her at another event. It was like just fast. So I'd like to chat with her. That'd be really dope. And you know what?
Yeah.
I'm so mad I don't have Sirius right now, because she was just on the Howard Stern show. And I just feel like I need to listen to that interview, because he is such a good interviewer. And I feel like that interview is probably so dope.
Yeah, Oprah, the cool thing about Oprah is when you meet Oprah, she gives you her time. Like
Hmm.
when you meet her, she's like, she talks to you. It's not like she's like looking around the room, kind of like, she's very present, and she gives you you could feel like you met Oprah. I've met Oprah a bunch of times, and she's great. I've seen Pink. I never really met her. I've seen her, but you're more of a Pink fan than I am, but I'm a new Pink fan. Like I'm starting to understand why she's so great. And then your third one was you said Putin. Who was that?
Yeah. I said Vladimir Putin. Oh
Yeah, I don't
God.
know. It's so funny. Like people ask me all the time, like, who do you really want to meet? And I've really met everyone, and I've met
There's got to be
presidents.
someone though, right?
It's always something random. Like I remember when I first met Jim Carrey, I was just like, he was someone who I thought I'd never meet. And
Hmm.
and then I met him, and I was like, he was not even a real person to me. When I met him, I was just like blown away by him. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm actually meeting you. I never met Obama, but I honestly, I don't even want to, I'm not even excited for Obama. And the reason is I think I've met not so many presidents. There's only so many presidents alive, but I never met Obama. But after kind of seeing a little bit about him of a person, I kind of not excited to meet him. And the
Hmm.
reason I say that is like, I was just talking about Bill Clinton on last week's episode. When you see Bill Clinton, you just kind of, if you stand in his distance, he comes over and he says hello. Obama would never do that. And it's not even a political thing. He's just not a warm guy. I mean, and I'm not saying, I don't care
Do you
about if
think
you're
though
left or
that
right, blue or red. It's
uh,
just, he's not that warm.
do you think a part of that though is when you feel like you're getting pulled in so many directions everywhere you go, you have to distance yourself from people a little bit? You have to put up those walls?
No, because I've
Because
met
to
Jimmy
me,
Carter, but
I don't feel like I get that sense of from him. I don't feel like he's a cold person. Like there's other
ah,
people that I'm like, they're cold. I don't feel like that with Obama.
because he's a good actor. And I'm not saying this is not a political thing. Trust me, I'm not smart enough, as you could tell, to know blue or red, left or right. I don't care about that. I've met Jimmy Carter a bunch of times. Jimmy Carter is very similar to Bill Clinton, where if you're there, he'll come over to you and say hello. In fact, Jimmy Carter, when he was healthy, he would fly commercial. He'd fly Delta and fly commercial. When he would get on a plane, he'd have his security with him. But it was kind of cool when Jimmy Carter would get on a plane, he'd walk down the plane and shake everyone's hand. He would take selfie, like he knew what he was doing. Bill
Hmm.
Clinton, I don't think is a commercial flight guy. However, he's approachable where like you can't approach him, but he will come to you. If you say, hey, Mr. Clinton, can I get a photo? He'll do that. I've not really been in near George W. Bush. I've seen him in a car drive by me, and he was with his daughter, and she pointed me out to him, and he like waved to me and like made a funny face at me. And that was kind of fun. But Obama, like the security, like you can't get close to Obama, and also he doesn't like sign autographs. Like he's just not that guy.
Well,
Um,
maybe that will come with time, because you're talking about people who were president a long time ago and they've had time to, you know, chill.
Well, if you're close to Trump, and I know people who've been to the golf club where he's at, like Trump will stop and for you. Like he'll sign autographs.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
He likes getting his picture taken?
yeah, Trump stops, he does autographs, like he's good. He's good like that. And again, this is not a left right, it's not a political thing. Obama is just not cool. Did I ever tell you? So it's funny. I actually became friendly with the Secret
Hmm.
Service who used to work with the daughters for Obama. And remember the one daughter used to work for Harvey Weinstein. Do you
Okay.
remember that? She was interning for Harvey
Yeah.
Weinstein. So one of
Oh,
the daughters,
yeah. You're right. You're right. I do remember that.
so one of the daughters used to intern for Harvey Weinstein. This is obviously when Harvey Weinstein was still, what he was doing in the movie
When he
industry.
was powerful.
His office, it was powerful. It was right next to the Greenwich Hotel, and the Greenwich Hotel gets a lot of celebrities, and there's always paparazzi kind of outside the Greenwich Hotel. The Secret Service would stand outside because they were kind of working for security for her. And this was after Obama left. For a little bit, she had her own Secret Service or security with him. And they would always be curious. They would talk to us about, like, hey, who you guys waiting for today? And they're cool. And we knew that they're working with the daughter of Obama. And I kind of said to him, I was like, how is the daughter? And they're like, she's not the coolest. And I go, what do you mean? Like, she parties. Like, what I mean party? She's young. She goes out, she like hangs out, but like she wasn't really the warmest to the security. But granted, she was young and she was like 18 years old. I probably would have been doing the same exact thing. So I don't know. Random thought about the Obamas.
This
But
has been the
okay.
most random goddamn episode
I
ever.
know, dude. I'm so
Like,
sorry.
where are we? Like,
I
we've talked.
know. I
I mean, I'm
know.
not
But
complaining, but I feel like it's been good. I just feel like it's so random.
yeah, when it comes to celebrity who I'd really want to meet, I think I've seen him before and I've met him, but
Mhm.
I just want to I want to ask him questions without a camera that maybe he talks to me because I'm just curious what their daily life is, what they do, what they take, and everything is. I mean, maybe Brad Pitt. I don't know. I've met everyone who I don't. There's no one like out there right now that really excites me. And Brad
Hmm.
Pitt's just a star. And I've met him, I've seen him, but I just want to talk to him more.
So,
But
like,
again,
so
there's
I
no one.
think
I don't
almost the
know who.
question is not so much meat, but like, who would you just want to have dinner with? Because that I think changes it. There's no camera. There's no. It's just like, oh, I just want to like pick your brain for a little bit.
Yeah, but you want them to also talk shit. You want them to be real,
Okay, so I
rather than
want to
just.
have a dinner and some drinks,
I'd say
and
it's
maybe an Adderall.
yeah. Which people are like, oh, Adam's definitely on it already. It's like he's already 2 in. I don't think he needs any more. But yeah, I mean, I guess it would be Brad Pitt. It's not like any athletes.
But like,
Like,
is
would
he
you get
really
excited to
gonna?
athletes?
Would I get excited for athletes?
Yeah, is there any athlete like do you get excited for athletes?
I mean, I feel like John Elway would be big just because I grew up in
Sure.
Colorado with him being like the biggest star on the planet. I think Tom Brady would be really interesting to sit down, and Gronk would be really fun to go party with. Um, no, but I feel like I'd still lean more towards a celebrity versus an athlete. It's just more of my genre. Um, I'm trying to think who else I would want to really get to know, and I don't know. I feel like it'll ruin it for me too. Like is sitting down and having dinner with Brad Pitt gonna ruin it? Like if he's just like a dork.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't know.
I could see that. I don't know if he I I gotta find I don't know anybody that's really close to Brad. I heard he's cool, but I want to like find someone who's just very close to him and just not write about it or do any stories about it. It's
Mhm.
just like, how is he of a guy? Like, is he cool? Is he that chill? And just kind of learn more about him. But it's
I think
funny.
it'd
A
be
lot of people
interesting
ask
to
me,
go to dinner with like Howard Stern.
yeah, I used to work for Howard, so it
Yeah.
was a different type of relationship with Howard. I don't, he's,
The,
I worked
the
there for
thing
a
is
little bit.
the thing is if they don't respect you, it's not gonna be a good dinner. Like there has to be that mutual respect
Yeah.
level for them to be excited to be at dinner with you. If they're not excited to be at dinner with you, like it's gonna be dumb. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
waste of time.
I love to hang out with a celebrity who and it's not like I hang out with celebrities a lot or really ever, but there's sometimes I do. But I love the ones that like are very interested in my work or what I do. And I
Mhm.
love to explain it to them because I want them to understand what I do and understand that I'm trying to be as good guy as much as possible. I'm trying to work with them rather than work against them. It's funny because obviously doing what I do, I cover celebrities, I cover politicians in some way, and the main politicians. I cover socialites, I cover social media stars, and I cover athletes. And people are like, how are the athletes? Athletes are always cool after they retire because they realize their time is up. They
Yeah.
realize like they're not as cool anymore. So they're just, they all of a sudden they become the nicest guy in the world. Like, why weren't you that cool when you were playing? And you can't say I was like, oh, it's focused on the sport. It's like, no, your ego was just so big that everyone cared about you, and then everyone stopped caring about you, and you started to, um, realize that shit. And but I would say this: football players are actually pretty cool because they could get away with, and people don't notice them with their helmets on,
Mhm.
so they're actually pretty chill. Basketball players are assholes,
Well, yeah,
and now
because they can't walk 2 feet without 10 people coming up to them.
true, and they're
When
actually
you're
there's
7'1" walking down the street, everyone recognizes you.
But you understand something, like some basketball players are actually really cool. Like Kevin Durant's actually a nice guy. James Harden's actually pretty cool. Steph Curry's a nice guy. But then there's some, I'd say majority, everyone else is such assholes. Like it's such ego that it's crazy. And baseball players are just like, they're like hicks. They're just like farmers who just like, oh man, this is crazy to be here. Like they're cool, but it's basketball players are the biggest assholes. And it's funny, you want to know something about basketball players? And I did this story. This is a crazy story, and I talked about this a while ago. You know, I have a lot of ins of the hotels in New York City. This is crazy, dude. I mean, hopefully our audience is not turned off by this, but they're probably like. So one thing from talking to a lot of the hotels, they noticed when a visiting team was in New York, you know, when they're staying at the hotel, that a lot of trannies were hanging around the hotel.
Okay.
You're like, dude, don't. This is like too inside. But I'm like, no. Yeah, they noticed like,
where's this going, Adam?
But they noticed like when a basketball team, a visiting team was in a hotel, they would notice a lot of trannies, transvestites were in the hotel. And when I mean in the hotel, they would hang out at the bar, they'd be in the lobby. And I don't know if they're kind of trying to be seen, or there's someone there who's into it, but it was just kind of like they're fans of them and trying to see if something's going on. Just an interesting thing to think about. I don't know if they're.
Alrighty then.
What a random episode, dude. I don't know why I just told you that, but it was just I'm mad at myself, but I'm not mad at myself because hopefully someone at home.
All right, we got to wrap this up because we are about to go be guests on Ryan Bailey's podcast, So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey. So we got to wrap that up so that you guys can go listen to us over there. So yeah, we're doing a little collab with him today. All right. Thank you guys for listening to us on our wild, weird episode today where we started to talk Oscars, then transitioned into parties, then transitioned into trannies. I don't know what happened. Yeah, it was a weird episode, but we're going to go with it, and hopefully you liked it. If you did like it, please leave us a review. Head on over to iTunes, find our show page, scroll down to the bottom, leave a 5-star review so we can read it at the top of the show, and make sure you are joining us inside our private Facebook group, Off the Record. You got to ask for permission to be entered. We'll grant you if you answer our questions there, and come join the party over there. Make sure you follow us on social media at Hollywood Raw. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. There's the video version of this if you want to see us in our backwards hats looking like a bunch of nerds. And then, yeah, you can follow me at Dax Holt. You can follow Adam at Adam Glyn. And we will see you guys next week, or actually later this week. Bye. Guys, hope you liked that video. We got a lot more where that came from.
Hit that bell, like, subscribe, share with a friend. The best thing you do to support us is really doing that. And we really need the money because we need hair gel.